libtard or something. That was the headline. And then I
Yeah.
saw the clip and I was like, actually, this like kid's got some really good points here. And he didn't stumble or, act like a fucking idiot. He was like really coherent in the way he was bringing them up. And then Kirk was like, what? Oh, this and that. And, bringing back because he's got to, rebut his stuff. And he can't really change his, opinion so much without, giving up points. Right. So, but, just the fact that he was like kind of stumbling on the return a bit, kind of showed that this kid was scoring points on. And I just thought it was a funny headline where, just typical clickbait, like, oh, Charlie Kirk destroys libtard,
Yeah. That shouldn't have happened based on words, no matter what. Nobody there should be no killing no matter what. I understand
no matter what, but yeah, there's
yeah, it's tough. Like we
all agree pedophiles should be killed.
Yeah. Well,
minor attracted persons should probably be killed.
I don't think that they should be killed because I don't want to be a part of killing. I think there should be an exile.
That's specifically why the man wears the hood. So they don't know, they don't see his face and they don't know who he is.
Yeah, like an Epstein Island, but just for pedophiles. Oh, you're one of those? Okay, off to the island. Like I'm not killing you. You're gonna live out your natural life, but away from everybody else.
Right. Yeah, like an Alcatraz kind of thing.
Yeah,
that'd be okay too. But I mean, if you're a billionaire and whatever, like, yeah. Even if you're on a fucking island or whatever, I'm sure, unless it's heavily secured, people are going to be sending boats and fucking all kinds of shit. You know what I mean?
You could be kind to them where they can live out a natural life. You know, like they have amenities, they do their thing. Maybe you give them jobs where they sew wallets or something dumb. It doesn't matter, but something useful. Just like, your crime.
Mm-hmm.
You know your attitude, and you know why we can't have you around our society.
Yeah.
And what that opens up for is like, what if you accidentally send the wrong person there? Well, if it's an okay place and they have the ability to prove their innocence while in there, okay, we'll do that. But over there, like, you're going to have to watch TV with a bunch of weird dudes, That's not so bad for an adult to try to get out of that by like, okay, here's the evidence. The kid was lying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kinder to everybody involved without actually killing. When we start killing, then it's a slippery slope towards that path.
It is a slippery slope for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, our major gripe with the death penalty is always that, you might get the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Might send an innocent man to the chair or something like that. And the way that we conduct our fucking, judicial system, that's a very good possibility, right? Like a lot of times fucking innocent people end up getting fucking put in there just because they don't have a good enough lawyer, just has bad fucking luck, where the prosecutors or whatever really want to pin it on this guy so they can wrap everything up in a neat, tidy bow. And they're like, we need a guy, and they'll plant evidence sometimes if they need to, So because of that, you can't really do it. But at the same time, there's just sometimes when I mean, like take this guy in, where was it? I don't know if it was Lindsay or something like that, but this just happened a little while ago. Like, I want to say like 2 weeks ago or something, but a guy was breaking into a house.
Oh, yeah.
And he sexually assaulted a 3-year-old. And they caught him like on top of the child, choking the child, sexually assaulting a 3-year-old in their bed, like broke into the house and was doing that to the child. Right. And then the police caught him and fucking took him off. And he was already out. Like, they already released this guy because he sexually assaulted a 12-year-old boy like a few months earlier or something like that. And the judge is like, oh, you're free to go. And now he's out and he fucking does this, right? Those are the kind of guys where the mob needs to get together and fucking tar and feather the person,
Yes.
Like, it's clear as day.
Like that would be a good GoFundMe.
Yeah, like you don't waste your fucking resources feeding that guy and housing him and whatever. Like, for fucking 20 cents, you fix the problem, like a 9mm bullet.
Yeah. Like maybe selling the Mexican cartels, like, you know, not that they'd be able to do it, but like, say we got a chance meeting and we go to the Mexican cartels and we're just like, yo, I hear you're kind of like putting a chokehold on like some farms and stuff, and they're having a hard time. You know, they got to go out and they got to pick all the fruit. It sucks for them, you know? They don't make a lot of money. So how about this? You keep the money situation going, but not like leave enough for these people we're sending you, and they got some kind of collar or something where the, like, I know a lot can go wrong. Maybe extra fencing built where these guys live outside, and they pick the food, and that's what they don't fall in line, shock their collar, and
yeah, it's got to be one of those exploding collars.
Yeah,
it's got a little
like
C4, and then when they go outside, they've got 5 seconds to get back over the line before it explodes.
Like I know, I believe in killing as a slippery slope, and I kind of feel like slavery is kind of a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
But think about, like, dude, if you are one of those people, minor attracted or whatever you want to call yourself, and we can't have you in society because we need to protect our children.
Mm-hmm.
And the possibilities in our society right now of your survival are really, really small. If you get caught, you go to jail. They find out in jail, you're dead like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
We all kind of know that in the zeitgeist. They don't let those guys survive.
Or at least not easily.
No, not easily.
They have a hell of a time while they're in there.
They're bored in there. That's something to do for them. You know,
mm-hmm.
If they're in there for life, like, oh, another pedophile, I'm gonna have fun toying and then terrorizing and eventually killing because I can. Sure, why not? Between you and I, we kind of believe them. That's nature taking its course. Okay, but should we incite that? Shouldn't we utilize that? Like, you have slavery for the rest of your life. You're in a pen. You can never get out. You're not hurt, and you don't have medical anymore. And you could do this labor, or you can do what you got to do yourself.
Well, I think that the amount of crimes that I would say are probably like definitely ironclad enough to kill the person would probably not be enough that it would, really dent the current kind of population that we have, of convicts.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that there's probably enough people that you could use as slaves that, weren't ones that needed to be killed at the same time as having people who just like, you got to wipe out of there. When you find a serial killer, you can't just like let him plow the fields.
Yeah.
You got to put that dog down, and then the guy who's embezzling money for, $5 million in white collar crime or whatever, credit card fraud, that kind of shit. That guy's toiling in the fields for 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. All through history, slavery got shit done.
Yeah. Slavery was all right in that. But you know what? I was just reading the Nordic Bible, which is like from like probably around the 12th century.
Okay.
And they were going through kind of some of their laws in the book. And it was kind of interesting that way, because they were talking about like, if you come across someone who is lending you money, they said like never let it be more than 1/3 a price for repayment or something like that. And then it specifically was like, if anyone should, make their wealth through usury, that person and their mother should be burned to a crisp and buried 50 feet below ground. And they're like, and it was specifically like to like do it in an area where you're not going to be growing crops because they won't grow over that person's corpse. So like there was like a special fucking type of people that they felt death was reserved for. But then their next law was should any man keep a slave, then he should be no friend of ours, because like slavery is death to the soul or something like that. Like no
Yeah.
man shall be should be held under bondage, basically.
Well,
They had a whole
yeah.
thing like, oh, if some guy does this, this is the penalty. If some guy does this is the kind of penalty, right? And there's really only so many things that you can really do. I mean, they had them listed. There's about 10. It's like a list of 10 commandments. Basically, that's what I was getting, because it's like a Nordic Bible, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, this is a list of 10 things not to do, and if they do, this is the repercussion, right? Like if you're giving people money and you're collecting interest on it, then you and your mother should be burned to a crisp. But if you're like, stealing a man's horse or something like that, then you're sent to toil in the fields for 2 years or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like as like a penance. And I would hope that the pedophile thing would fall into that. Like, we're enslaving the wrong people. Honest people that just want to get through a day, they're enslaved. Yet guys like that just like run amok.
mm-hmm.
Maybe we should enslave them and let the other people run amok, because they're not going to hurt children. If we're going to do it any way you slice it, like that's probably the better way to do it. Anyways, the second point I wanted to bring up that I just heard today that made going back to the shooting,
mm-hmm.
that made it kind of suspicious, besides the bullet size, was the note that he supposedly left for his girlfriend/boyfriend.
Right. Yeah. And how it was like 1950s fucking slang. Like,
yeah,
hey, pops, like, I got to run out to my vehicle and go get, go retrieve my rifle, like you had all these like keywords and stuff that are like, fucking, basically straight out of like the Fed fucking, guidebook.
Like right off the hop, what makes it unbelievable to me is the first few sentences are, "I thought I would die with this."
Yeah.
And then spills all the beans.
Yeah. Right. From like, oh yeah, remember I was writing those memes on the bullets, like everything. Yeah. Like every little bit of it. Yeah. I took apart my rifle and like put it here. I left it in a towel. And then that was another thing. Side note. They found a screwdriver on the roof, and they said, oh, this is how he assembled his rifle, because they saw him limping up there, and they're like, oh, he's got it disassembled in his pants, right? That's why he's walking weird in these videos. So like he got up there, assembled this rifle with his screwdriver. Then after he took the shot, had the time to disassemble this thing, take it off. Then we've got the footage of him fucking jumping off of the roof. And then he fucking goes out to the forest, and then they found the rifle assembled in a towel. So they're like, so your narrative right now is that he assembled it, disassembled it, left the screwdriver that he needed apparently to do all that on the roof so that you could find it with his shell casings and whatnot. And then reassembles this thing fucking in the forest for some reason and somehow, because he doesn't have a screwdriver, and he already disassembled it so that he could hide it again to get away. And now you're saying that for whatever reason he put it back together and then wrapped it in a towel and then left it in the forest. And then in his note here, he's like, yeah, I left it in the forest. Hopefully I can get it, because my pops is real mad that I don't have it, like he wants to see a picture of it.
Maybe Utah is under that slang, like way back when, but it just reeked. Even the reaction of the roommate.
Yeah. Like,
oh
you
my
didn't
God,
do it.
you did?
Yeah. No way. Yeah.
And they're still trying to say that it's vaguely somewhere this has got to be about the trans thing because of the roommate. And trans he's not cooperating. But he turned the guy over to the cops. He's the one who called the cops. The roommate called the cops.
They're the one cooperating.
They're the one yeah.
Yeah, they are cooperating.
So how is the trans a movement that is doing the shooting?
Yeah, no,
like
they were
that
saying
was one narrative that was going around.
Yeah, they were saying the boyfriend, was doing it because Charlie Kirk is like against trans people. That was his thing, because he's like, oh, this guy had so much hate. That's why they're like, why did you do it in the note? Like, why did you do it? Oh, he just had so much hate and I had to get rid of it.
That's
That
the
was
reason that's out there.
That was his reason. Yeah. When they asked, why did you do it? I can't believe you did it. And he's like, I'm sorry, my love, like called him my love like 3 times in this thing. And then not only that, perfect punctuation, every commas exactly where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
No, like you just doing a you know what I mean? Like it was everything was typed out YOU. Meanwhile, I guess apparently he's supposed to be like, at this time he's writing this note, we're supposed to believe he's like watching, the police are swarming around. And he's like in a car looking at the forest, waiting to retrieve his rifle. And he's like typing this out.
Yeah, like a poet.
Yeah. Like
meanwhile,
crafting this thing.
The stuff that's written on the bullets is what's going to probably be in the real text message.
Right. And and then he mentions those too, like, oh yeah, it'll be so hilarious if I see that on the news. Like that's what he said, right? But
yeah.
Once again, just like, oh yeah, like I did all these memes on the bullets. It's gonna be so hilarious. Like everything was all wrapped up, everything in the case. Yeah. My dad said this. He said, oh, there was a crazy guy who claimed to have got it. So they've got him. And then they also arrested another guy who was wearing the same clothes as me.
Yeah.
And they're like, he was only wearing like a black shirt and black pants. So you're telling me they arrested fucking every guy that had black shirt and black pants?
Like,
fucked
like, up. Yeah. Kash Patel apparently lost his shit because it was a shit show on the part of the FBI.
Yeah, well, so that's another thing, right? So the FBI comes out, they do this statement. They're like, this is what happens when you let cops be cops. We caught him. And I don't know if you heard that whole speech, but they're like, so we caught him in less than 36 hours, 33 hours to be precise. That's what they said. And like, that's the headline. Shooter caught in 33 hours.
But
so
he was like, turned in.
Exactly. But I mean, the point is that even if you check the timeline, it comes down to like closer to like 28 hours or something. So like, where's this 33 number come from? Well, it kind of tells you who did it, right? Yeah. And everyone's looking at that. Like fucking Candace Owens brought it up. Like, everyone's been fucking noticing that, like, because they're so in your face with it all the time. And now everyone knows, like, back when I was young, nobody knew who the fucking Freemasons were. Like nobody knew who they were mostly. Like if I was like, hey, have you ever heard of the Freemasons? No one ever fucking knew, right? Now you can pretty much bring it up to anyone and everyone has heard of them at least and knows, oh yeah, what are they, that fucking secret society thing? Yeah, that conspiracy. Everyone knows about it, right? But like no one knew about it when I was a kid. And like, you would see all this fucking numerology pop up all the time. And that's their calling card, Like there was also someone else, like I want to say recently, they were like, oh, that Stephen Paddock, I think that guy in Las Vegas that was shooting, I think he might have been on the 33rd floor. That's where he was doing the shooting, and like,
and that one's super mysterious too.
Yeah, we still don't have answers on that, right?
Yeah,
like how he got through those windows that apparently don't open, and like if you've ever heard the footage, you can hear more than fucking one gun. And and experts and cops or whatever that are talking about it was like, oh no, that's the echo. But like you can distinctly tell because they're going at different rates. Like it's like like it's not an echo if it speeds up,
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was a lot of fucking crazy shit on that end too. And then so I heard this was breaking just today, I think, or maybe yesterday. But so the shooter got turned in from his father and a youth pastor. So apparently the father, I don't know if it was the father. Yeah, I think the father talked to their pastor and said, my son's done this thing. I need you to talk to him. And he was a retired sheriff. That's what they said. This pastor was a retired, like, sheriff of some kind and deputy sheriff. And so he met with the kid and obviously knew him and convinced him, you got to turn yourself in for the right of it, right? Well, so if that's even true, then what? This kid was like, okay, yeah, we got to do it. He turns himself in. Now all we hear is that he's not being cooperative at all, right? Doesn't want to cooperate and whatever. So does that mean like the parents brought him in and then he just changed his mind? Or like what if you got there and you are like, yeah, I didn't do it. Like how are they've got absolutely no lead. What if, like, how are they going to come to the conclusion that you were the person and catch you with with you saying, no, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like if your parents like, oh, I think my son did it. You're like, no, I didn't do it. Then like, why would they go through all that trouble to arrest him just based off what a parent says? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seems a little odd, but anyways,
it's all very
so
odd.
then this was breaking today, but the father is 29 years been working for a company that is a branch of the CIA.
Oh,
yeah.
Huh.
Just found out. It's like he's part of this. I guess it's like some sort of company that does topography or something like that. They're basically like the ones that scan all the stuff and give the info to Google Earth so that they can do all their pictures of like fucking, topography and all that kind of shit. They do some sort of connection with that, but he does doing that work. He works in conjunction with the CIA. And so he's been doing that for like 29 years. So Alex Jones is going on like, he's been working with the CIA. I've got all these connections, like,
yeah.
So now we've got that fucking on the line, right? Like it always comes back to someone, right? No one ever is just a fucking plumber and they're, like.
Yeah. 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 The one interesting point I saw was people were matching up the face with one of the security guards at the Charlie Kirk shooting. The way he looked was suspiciously close to a security guard that was for Trump when he was almost shot.
Right. Yeah, I think I saw that.
So the red thread conspiracy on that one is around Charlie Kirk's death. He was being offered a lot of Israel money he didn't want to take.
Right.
No, you're going to say this about Israel. It's all good, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I'm for America. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we say that that's true, that someone like, oh, he's not for Israel, how about we just shoot him? Let's see what goes down if we do that. So if they did that to Trump and the same guy was there, like, popped him and grazed his ear and then went up beside him and goes, we can do this at any time.
Yeah.
You're going to become the president and you're going to shut your fucking mouth and do what I say. And that kind of makes sense why Trump has just been like kind of quiet on the whole Israel thing. And then all of a sudden like, yeah, we stand behind him, Israel. Hurrah.
Yeah. Whatever they want to do. It's good with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of odd, but it did seem kind of right if he was almost shot and scared into, you do this. I'm the real puppet master. Mm-hmm. This is how you skim your money and get rich after. Which
I kind of got that vibe from the whole reason that assassination had happened in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of got the vibe that was like, that was going on in the background. Because right away, as soon as that happened, then all of a sudden it was like something changed. I feel like after that, he all of a sudden got really quiet on stuff, like.
Yeah. And mean at the same time. Yeah. Like that's when shit really changed around.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said that whole, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It felt a little rattled, like fear-based.
Well, that specific time when that happened, he had literally like put out a statement or something that was like, there's not going to be any more attacks. I just talked to Netanyahu this weekend and we've got a ceasefire going to go on for, 14 days or something like that. And then like the next day is when they did that launch that like killed people and whatever. They launched a missile or something like that and killed people. And, And then so that's when he was like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, because he, behind the scenes, he literally just did that, and then went on a news conference and was like, oh, I've just put a pin in things, don't worry, there's not going to be any more killing. And then it makes him look like a fucking idiot, right?
Yeah.
So that's why he was like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but it's not good.
Well, he could have released that statement, and that night he could have been sitting at a desk, got a call, picked it up, it's Bibi, and oh, what's going on? Yeah, we're partners, right? He goes, I heard what you said on the news. And then there's just a pew and like a hole in the wall, and you can hear it graze by his head. You needed a reminder. You're doing what I say.
Yeah.
Like that would warrant the next day going, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, that's what it felt like to me. So that's a plausible thing. Charlie Kirk said no. This whole Israel thing is why are we paying for it? And that, like, in aid, in like, we give them an allowance, I think. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know for sure. I can't say like right out with certainty. Like, yeah, USA is paying for Israel everything.
Yeah, they are. That's every time they do a new kind of goes up to Parliament, and they're like, oh, we're giving another $12 billion to Israel aid. It happens like every couple months.
Yeah.
That's the freak out from people, is like, if you stop giving them money, they don't have money for bombs, but you guys keep giving them money. So they have money to keep like attacking people. Like that whole thing when they attacked in Iran and like killed a few, like, oh yeah, we killed some Hamas guys that were hiding out in Iran, right?
Yeah.
And that's their way of like secretly fucking starting a war with Iran, right? Which they've wanted for so long. And I don't think they're taking the bait, like they know that the US is fucking with them and like trying to get this thing provoked, and they keep just saying, oh, please, sir, can I have another? Because they don't want to get it started. But Israel keeps fucking pushing the line because they've got unlimited bombs.
Yeah, they're looking at Iran. They're looking at a couple other Qatar. They're taking a good hard look at Qatar, like they're going to take it over. Russia is starting to eyeball Poland. I saw that. That's fucked up. Like, Poland.
Right back to World War II.
Yeah, why are you going after Poland? Leave them alone. They had enough in World War II. They built themselves up. Like, I'm kind of proud of where they're at now from where they came. They got their feet. They're doing all right. And then Russia fucks with them with drones.
Yeah.
Now they're going to the UN to like, hey, what's the laws around this? Like, what like, don't look that intently, Poland. I understand. I get it. But like that's leading down the path of more violence. Just push back and give them the finger. And just let them fight their Ukraine war, and like hopefully that ends so soon.
Wow, yeah.
But
they stopped. That's the thing. The U.S. stopped giving aid to the Ukraine, and
diverted it.
Yeah, and so like now the only money they get is from everyone else, right? Canada's giving money still. The Europe is giving money all over the place. England, France, right? Those guys.
Yeah,
they're still doing it. So that's the only reason that the war is still going on, is because everyone else is financing it, right? It's a proxy war, basically. It's the way for the U.S. and every other country to fight and start a war against Russia without actually starting a war against them, right?
Yeah. Fucked up. I did tell you that I think through text message that on my trip I met a dude from France. And it was mainly the guy I went with. He was a former professional soccer player. So when he mentioned that, the two of them like hit it off right away, and they're really going crazy on soccer sports stuff that I just know nothing about.
Right.
And then like I got a little bit of a chance to speak, because I had to ask. I'm like, okay, so how do you like France? What are the housing? All that kind of stuff. They're experiencing the same problems as us. Like what he described, like the day-to-day life of a French person, kind of sounds like here.
Right. Well, yeah, we're at the same kind of government situations.
Same
Right?
same kind of people that is like a lot of like Arab and Pakistani or like Indian, just like in droves, they're coming
Into France.
into France, one after like another,
Yeah.
just like a big flood.
That's what this person was telling you?
Yeah,
Okay.
big flood of them are
Yes.
coming in, and they don't like France. The people coming in don't like France.
Yeah. No, there's all these videos of like migrants like in like groups of 30 or 40 like walking down the street, and then like people are out in those cafes that are like on the street and whatever, and these guys come up and like grab shit off their tables and fucking,
Yeah.
yelling at them, and like throwing shit at them and stuff, and they just storm through and fucking steal people's purses and phones and whatever. It's just 30 or 40 of these guys, right? And they're all like, like tough young men.
Actively rejecting any assimilation or society itself.
Yeah.
Angry, pissed off.
And there's 3-card Monty kind of scams, all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
by the same groups of people where they have all these like trinkets they're selling and shit like that, and they're all like highly marked up.
So whoever's making this decision made the decision for at least France, Canada, and USA.
Mm-hmm.
These 3 places are having the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
I had verified, and I had to ask him. I go, so what's your opinion of Macron there?
You think he's married to a man or what?
He just kind of like in a very French like gesture. He is gay, man. And I was like, oh, I heard it. He's like, what? Why? Like, we know the whole story. We've been getting the play-by-play about everything.
Yeah.
We know. And that was kind of it, because he had a jet ski rental that he needed to run to.
Right.
Well, yeah, go to the jet ski. That's cool. Yeah.
That's funny.
But hearing those kind of problems there,
Mm-hmm.
the
not just there, it's in England.
England
huge,
too.
horrible. And they got that
Yeah.
guy Tommy Robinson, right? Have you heard of him?
No.
He's just like a hardcore activist there who everyone's like, oh, this is a racist guy, but like I've heard him in interviews and stuff. He's got like, oh yeah, like all the mates I grew up with are all black and stuff, so you can't say I'm racist. Like, but they do, because I say I don't want any more immigrants in England because they don't want to assimilate, and they just come here and they're starting in England. There's rape gangs. So I don't know, I have to check this number, but he was like, years ago we didn't have any kind of these attacks, and he's like, in the last 5 years, I think he said they had 88,000 rapes. Yeah, by these migrant gangs. They literally just roam the streets, find unsuspecting girls, and then rape them.
So who asked them to go and do that?
No one asked them. They're just letting them come in here, and that's their culture.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think there's a letting them in part.
Well, this is what the U.S. was facing too, right? Not just Mexicans getting across. You're like, how are all these Chinese people and people from like Nigeria and shit? How are they getting in through Mexico? Like,
that's what we're talking about.
How are they getting the money to go to Mexico and then walk across the border, right? And the few people who will talk are like, oh, well, at my hometown, I got this sheet of paper. It says, do you want to come to America? Here, call this number. And then when you call the number, they tell you where to go. You show up there. A bus comes and picks you up. It takes you to this place. They give you a card that's got $2,000 worth of cash on it so that you can buy food and drinks and stuff. And then that gets you across or whatever. They pay your fee to this fucking guy, whoever's taking you, and they get you across, and then they drop you off. And then you've got another sheet of paper that says, okay, once you're there, this is the number you call and whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you make your way through there, and then, decide where you're going to go from there. But that's when the question comes, like, yeah, who's handing out these papers, right? And then who's giving these fucking cards? Like, who's filling up these cards with $2,000 for these people, right? And the answer comes back like fucking George Soros and these other fucking NGO guys.
Yeah,
they're just like, They're the ones that are doing this shit behind the scenes. You know, they run an organization that has another organization that they bought underneath it. And then that has some guy who's working, you know, it's like distanced intermediaries. So that like it doesn't fall back on, you know, one person kind of thing. But when you do, it does have a trail. You just have to fucking follow it. Might take a while, but eventually when you get back to it, it's like these George Soros type guys and the World Economic Forum people.
Yeah, when I try to think to myself, like, okay, what do I see with my actual eyes? Because I'm hearing a lot of stuff that kind of like it bumps up against that kind of hate speech thing.
Yeah.
As a Canadian, I am to believe, and I feel like I do, that we are a country on a spectrum of people with immigrant status. Whether you're the child of someone who came over here, someone who's freshly over here, someone who's fully integrated, or fully integrated plus a strong heritage background.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge spectrum of that. And if I were to meet somebody on the street that was very strongly like seemingly they just got here from their place of origin, that's supposed to be a likely occurrence because we're accepting people based on their merit, based on what's going on in their country. Maybe we're doing humanitarian, saving them from death. Like, you know, those kind of things happen, as I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But if other countries are having the problem, you're saying like this George Soros, like, yeah, come call this number. And then you just kind of plinko into Canada. And they somehow have like this plan, like we're going to infiltrate.
Yeah.
We're not going to get jobs. We're just going to say, like, really? It does seem like that. It does look like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like years and years go by and it was like, that group is growing and they're not really mixing in. What the fuck? That's what I see with my eyes.
Yeah. And now we're getting that in Canada here, right? Where it's like,
yeah,
the more and more it happens, like, I mean, we talked about it before, but like, you know, we went from like, we were taking in like something like 50 to 60 or 80,000 people or something like that per year. Like that's how many new immigrants we would take into Canada, like 80,000 people per year. And like now we're taking in 400,000 plus. And I think like, I don't know if it was last year or it's this year, but they're trying to get that bumped into 1 million, you know, so 1 million new people. And then we talked about like, you know, in a good year, they can make like fucking something like, you know, 15,000 homes or something like that across Canada. Like that's what they've got the supplies for 50,000, I think 50,000 brand new homes. Right. And if you've got 80,000 newcomers, that was the plan. Now we've got 400,000 plus. Like that means that like every home that's being built, even if you were just giving them to newcomers, there would be 5 newcomers to every house that was built, you know, 5 or 6 newcomers. And that's not even saying anything about all the people who are in Canada already who have kids and whatever, who have been like, oh, you know, I've been living at home and I'm ready. I've saved up and now I'd like to try and buy a house. And they can't because it's, you know, out of reach now.
Yeah. Yeah. I did meet a person who came over with his friends from some Arab country, doesn't even matter. He was integrated pretty well into our society, but what him and his friends, 5 of them did, was they all band together and they immediately bought a house based on all 5 of them co-signing and all that fun stuff. And then they paid for, like on credit, all the electrician and to fix up the house. And they did it 5 times, flipping them. And he immediately, I'm at the point now I don't really need to work. I'm just doing stuff. So like I'm bored. He was driving truck. That's what he specifically did. So that doesn't sound like inviting somebody to our country that's going to be a positive impact on us that are already here. Right? That guy came with his buddies, found a loophole, increased the value of the house. The house is on the street, made it unlivable. Like how did our house prices skyrocket like that? By shit like this. They already have those plans from, because back at home they can't afford the houses.
Mhm.
So they get 5 people together, and this is all normal commonplace in their culture.
Mhm.
Our culture could not handle it. Now we're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't imagine 5 people getting a house together.
That's a good point to like racist, anti-racist. Forget about race. This is the problem we're dealing with as a Canadian. And decorum, that word, like the kind of grace and tact. We know from kids, recycle, put your garbage in the garbage. It's zombie town out there now.
Mhm.
Garbage is fucking everywhere.
Well, yeah, but is that like just kids who are being ignorant, or is that people who come from places where it's common to throw your shit on the ground and just shit in a garbage can or something, you know?
That's one of the targets. And
I just saw a clip like yesterday or something of this guy on a beach here in Ontario, and he's like got some like Indian woman, and she like basically just took a shit on the beach.
Yes.
You know, and he's like, "What are you doing? That's disgusting." And she's like, "Oh, the bathrooms are dirty." And
Yes.
he's like, "Well, you can't fucking put that on the beach. Like, clean that up." And she's like, "No."
Yeah, and then just walks
Yeah,
away.
just walks away. Yeah.
Their diapers. I've gone to our beach, and there's been an entire Subway meal just sitting, like they finished, stood up and left.
Yeah.
2 cups, the paper open, and the remnants of a sub. Like what the fuck? Really? That could be like some of our own Canadians, like the millennials that grow up and they're so isolated in their own world that's what fucking happens.
Yeah.
Just get up and leave, and then it starts blowing in the wind, and it's like we're fucked. This is why we're fucked as a planet. Is the decorum.
Yeah.
The clean up after yourself, the normal like day-to-day like common sense, you're not an animal, is straight out the window nowadays.
But that's also the kind of behavior that I feel like people do in secret, you know? Like people don't tend to like litter and shit like that when they're in a group because they don't want to be judged and they know they're doing something wrong. It's when they're like, "Oh, well, there's no one on the beach here, right? We're in a secluded area or something like that." That's where they like take a shit in the, on the beach, or like fucking, you know, eat a meal and then just throw their garbage to the side because no one's around to look, right? But if there was a crowded beach and you did that, there'd be a group of people around you. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Pick that up, man.
Yeah. After the weekend, I can guarantee somewhere in my neighborhood there'll be fast food remnants run over by a car somewhere on the road.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I think
every time,
like my street, there's always like 2 or 3 houses that just like have fucking trash bags on their front lawn that have been torn apart by raccoons.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there's fucking all kinds of rotting food and whatever in a pile on their fucking front lawn. And then, of course, as soon as it gets windy, that shit fucking starts blowing, and our whole street everyone's got a little piece of garbage on their fucking lawn, you know?
Yeah. How and why does this happen? You know, like it boggles my mind that we want to point a finger and say right away, it's the people coming in that don't know our customs. Were they taught that though?
And our customs or their
who let them in? How did they get this fast track where all of a sudden we have this big, like, because it wasn't 10 years ago, wasn't even like 8 years ago. This is very recent where our customs for keeping this place clean and having a day-to-day work straight out the window.
Yeah.
The amount of like road accidents has skyrocketed.
Yeah. And that's because of corruption on certain ends, you know. I mean, like there's trucking schools that you can go to, and they'll, you know, under the table, if you pay them extra, they just give you the license, right? You don't need to fucking do any of the work. You know, they'll sign it all off because you slip them an extra $5,000 or whatever their fee is, right? And apparently the same thing it was just recently uncovered with language laws. So like you have to know like a certain amount of English language, like to qualify for visas and stuff like that, you know, like to say, oh, I want to come here and be a worker or whatever. They put you actually through some language tests and stuff. But apparently certain, I don't know if it's a person or if it's like certain branches or what, but they have uncovered that like people are just paying extra money to skip the oral exam to prove that they can speak Canadian. So that's why you're like able to like go into a fucking place and be like, oh yeah, can I get an extra large? They're like, extra large, you know, like, yeah, extra large. Sorry, extra large. You're
Yeah.
like talking to someone like, sorry, what? Who is this?
Yeah. The example I have is I straight up saw a trucking company say to one of their employees who did know his shit. He was a good driver, but when it came time for testing, they let him bring the shit home so his wife can fill it out because he didn't know English. Like that's wrong on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
You know, even though he's a good driver, he's one of how many?
Yeah.
That brings their tests home so their wives can fill it out because they refuse to learn the language in the country they live.
Yeah. It'll turn out like that guy who, you know, jackknifed and killed that fucking people in the van. That was in America though, right? Pretty sure.
Oh, it's happening all over.
Yeah.
It's happening all over. The highway is just pooched.
Yeah.
Just full all the time. Each individual person got a car. And then there is like 8 to a house. Because the only way that they can afford, but they survive because they're used to those kind of conditions.
Yeah. Yeah. They've, you know, been living like that for fucking probably centuries, right? Where they've got like, you know, the married couple and then they moved their parents into there and then they've got maybe their brother and sister get in there and then they've got their kids and, you know, the brother and sister's kids, you know, like everyone else who's attached to. Before you know it, there's 14 people and they're living in a giant mansion house. But yeah, there's 14 people living there or whatever.
So where in the world is empty due to these people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just back in their own homelands, basically.
Yeah, but like where is empty? Because they left somewhere. So why, where, like, there's so many missing pieces in that. How do we find out those missing pieces? That's important. And that might even tie to the assassination recently, because when you speak, like, who knows? What if it's Israel?
Right.
You know, if you think of it, if they're taking the poor villages and fast tracking them into our countries, USA, you do what I say, it's going to happen. And then in England, we'll slip them in there, and France, and we'll just clear them all out, and the ones left over we'll kill and just move in.
Yeah.
Could be a silent part of their war.
That's the grand plan, right? I mean, you keep hearing Trump talking about like, oh, it's going to be great. There's going to be hotels on the beach.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, and like I heard them float some idea about like, oh yeah, we can give the Palestinians like a special token, you know, so that like when they come back, they can buy a home or something like that, you know, with this token, because it's proof that they were there before. But you know, that's probably not going to go through because they've Netanyahu's been pretty adamant there is no two-state solution.
Well, the one, rather than what Netanyahu says, I would believe what he's doing. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Invading.
Yeah, whatever he says, what tomorrow is, that's what he's up to. Asking what he thinks about this or that, it's always going to be in his favor. Like, that's bare bones what people do. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're well, only an hour and a half about.
Oh yeah. Fuck, the night is young. So back to that Charlie Kirk thing though.
Okay.
We should watch a small video because there's something that I wanted you to check out about this, because they're already fucking you know, coming up with wild theories about stuff. So you saw the thing about like how the guy was giving hand signals and stuff, military hand signals, right?
Yeah.
One of the guards. Well, yeah, I was thinking that was pretty interesting too. But I was listening to Candace Owens today, actually, and she was doing a breakdown. Right, she started that Becoming Brigitte season 2, where she's like getting into all the details about that, and she fucking just stopped that dead. And she's like, now she's just like, okay, here's the new. This is everything we found out about Charlie Kirk's shooter, and like, she is fucking melting that timeline down, man. Like, she's got it all broken down. She's like, okay, here's their text chain, but like, this information didn't come out on the news till like 38 minutes later. You know what I mean? Like, she's got it all down. Like, oh, they're saying like, oh yeah, they caught this other guy, but that didn't go on the news for like another 3 hours. So how did he know that and put that in his message to his lover or whatever,
Yeah.
There's all these little things. So like, they don't know what the messages aren't time stamped that they released. So like, here's everything they said, but you don't see the little times. So it's like, how is he talking about all this stuff? Because he's making it sound like, oh, I'm just waiting to go get the rifle. I left it in the woods. I haven't heard about it on the news yet. So I'm just waiting to go get it, and then like all of a sudden, he's like, oh yeah, I can't go get it. Forget it. Sorry. Like they're just kind of jumping all over the place with this timeline.
So, which video did you? It was of Candace, right?
No, this one is Minutes of Horror, and it's one of his new videos, and I think it says specifically about Charlie Kirk. It was like probably I would check like the day after, like September 12th or something like that.
See, Antichrist spoke. Conspiracy theory, something is wrong here. That's this is 5 days ago.
Let's see, what's the date today? 18?
Yeah.
13, 12. Is there anything that's 6 or 7 days ago?
7.
What does that one say?
Earth opens up in New Jersey, caught on camera.
Okay, go to the one. Well, let's see what this one says, I guess. Well, whatever.
I'm gonna pause it and we'll
oh yeah, transfer it over and then
screen share this biatch.
And make sure the audio's running on her. Screen share. Screen share. All right. So let's see if this is the one. He does a breakdown of some of these anomalies.
News stories. And as always, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. So every so often, I usually do not make videos this early. Matter of fact, I was not planning on making a video today. But when it comes to the Charlie Kirk shooting, you will not believe, or maybe you will believe this, but read how long it took them to nab the shooter, nab the suspect. Reading this article right here, it says, Charlie Kirk murder, shooter caught in 33 hours. 33 hours. FBI chief gives timeline a probe. No. No.
Yeah, I like this guy.
They did not. No, they did not put a timestamp of 33 hours as how long it took them to nab the suspect. I can't.
He says something like, I would bet my last cinnamon toast crunch that this is
my most recent video. I believe a day or a couple days before this happened, or even on the same day, I had spoke about this exact same subject, about how the Free People Society always leave their mark, their calling card, in these major headlines, in these news stories that are very suspicious. Now, for those that have been subscribed to me for quite some time, you'll know the significance of this number when I talk about it and how it connects to the Free People Society. But for those that are not subscribed to me, you can check out this video I made right here. Awesome. Again, only a couple days prior to the shooting, that pretty much breaks down why this number is very significant. 33 hours they got the suspect. There is no way that's a coincidence. There is no way. You know what? I was willing to look past the whole Air India plane crashing within 33 seconds.
Air India crashed.
I was willing to look past the Washington, D.C. plane crash when the crash occurred on runway 33. I was even willing to look past the fact that the New York City shooter, Shane Tamura, went up to the 33rd floor and ended the life of the Blackstone CEO.
Oh, the
I was
Blackstone
even willing to
CEO
look
was on
past
the
the fact that
33rd
people were
floor
telling
when he
me
got
minutes of
shot.
horror. If you look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Charlie Kirk's stage right before his
Okay,
shooting,
so look at this.
you can see the
3
number
hats.
47 appeared 3 times.
47,
4 plus 7 3
47,
times
47.
is 33. And I said,
4
I
plus
don't think I'm
7,
going to
4
go ahead and
plus
talk
7,
about
4
it
plus 7,
because some people
33.
might believe that's looking a little too deep into things. But now that this has come out that they nabbed the suspect in 33 hours, everything's pretty much fair game. This hat stuff is really starting to make a lot of sense now. The Free People Society, they will always leave their mark, their calling card to let you know it's a manufactured story. That train, that bus is never late. I'm willing to look past all of that, but this is not a coincidence. There is no way, given the fact of all we know of what's taken place so far about this shooting, about very suspicious things that have been popping up, this very suspicious book that appeared on Amazon just a day before that recounts September 10th, Charlie Kirk shooting. We had this TikTok on September 6th talking about Charlie Kirk passing away in his Florida home just days before this shooting. And with all the other...
Okay, so there was this message from Charlie Kirk's own website, and it was a memorial or something posted for his death, but it said that he passed away in his home. It said like Charlie Kirk passed away in his home on Sunday in Florida, and put out by his own team, like Turning Point USA or something like that. And it was the day before he got shot.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was just a random fucking like, and then they took it down. But like somebody screenshotted it here. And it was like, you know, oh, we're, you know, so sorry to tell you about Charlie Kirk's passing in Florida. So, that, you know, obviously it was somehow planned. But just like the depth of it, that it was from his own fucking team that put this up.
Wow.
And then the day before, or no, the day after, like literally one day after his shooting, like he was shot on the 10th, and on September 11th, I think they're saying this book is released. That was like the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Like it was like they had this book ready to go. You know what I mean? And he, what was it? They something about that. Here, go rewind it like 20 seconds because they were mentioning something else. It was another tweet that was foreshadowing this like happening.
Whoa, where'd it go?
Oh. Come on back.
We are going to be looking at some disturbing videos, strange and odd news stories, channel Hours of Horror, and I'm going to save you from this guy's video because the only were there very strange sounds, but around the same time, something very odd happened. So I had to come back and re-edit this video because something was discovered when it came to Charlie Kirk's shooting that I want to go ahead and talk about. That really reminds me of something that was discovered when it came to the Maui fires. So yesterday on my other channel, Hours of Horror, and I'm going to save you from this guy's video because the fake influencer voice he's using is very annoying. I'm not going to play it. But I had uploaded a video how this TikToker was talking about on Charlie Kirk's Twitter account. His team posted that he passed away in his Florida home again on September 6th. But come to find out, on September 9th, this author, Anastasia Casey, uploads a book to Amazon titled The Shooting of Charlie Kirk, talking about how he was shot on September 10th. Now, I actually saw this myself and I saved a screenshot, but if you try to go back, Amazon had completely removed the page. Absolutely no different than the other book that was published to Amazon,
but he
Fire and Fury, the Maui Fires, which was published, I believe, only a day after the Maui Fires had taken place. Some say that you can upload ebooks to Amazon within 24 hours. The only problem happens to be on that exact same day, a little over 24 hours from when the fires had taken place, this book was available for paperback, and it also chronicles the events that happened on the 11th.
Do you think it's in the realm of possibility that there's an author out there? Like, authors have to write constantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a good story or not. And then someone got the idea of coming up with every disaster known that's like kind of plausible,
Mm-hmm.
and then just shelve all of it.
Just slow
And-
drip them.
Yeah, and then just wait. Oh, something's about to happen. Bang! How did this come out at that time? And just watch the money roll in. Like, fuck yeah! All right, sorry.
Yeah.
It's a
Some
plausible
prolific
theory.
secret author.
Book had also been removed by Amazon, but I also saw it in real time and I made a video about it. Now, I cannot find any other information on this author or find any other books published by this author, which makes me believe that this might be an AI author, kind of
Like one
similar
of these, it was in
to,
advance,
again,
and it
that
said
book about
Charlie
the Maui
Kirk dead at
fires. That
31.
author was
And it was
named
Yeah.
like the day before shooting.
Milestone. Some are even suggesting that the book may have been published based on the author's time zone, but looking this up further, it says no, Amazon does not show a book's published date based on different time zones. Instead, Amazon's publishing and promotional activities, such as Kindle ebook releases and Kindle countdown deals, typically use Pacific Standard Time or Coordinated Universal Time. So the publishing date is not based on the author's time zone. So is the whole thing just a script, which I wouldn't doubt one bit, or is some kind of very powerful AI being used that knows about future events, a kind of AI that the so-called powers that be may have? But no matter what it may be, the whole thing just stinks. But this really also puts into perspective when it comes to Fire and Fury, the book about the Maui fires, because again, that was not a natural fire, in my own opinion.
I do recall being a small child, and there was a service where if you gave them your name, they would have a story where you're the main character in it.
Yes, I got one of those for my one of my children last Christmas.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Mad Libs kind of thing. Like
Kind
fill
of.
in the blank.
Yeah, but I don't think it would be to that degree, because it's like, it's just everyone gets the same story, and then instead of, it's like, oh, the fairy came and said hello to Julie, and you just fill in the name or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Like it's always a different name, but the story is the exact same. You just change the names to put in your names, right?
So my theory of this mystic author that knows the future, you leave some things blank. You can write the shooting of blank blank,
Right.
and then have a whole book of just like vague facts, and then blank 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 blank, and then find this, replace with, and then brap, you got a whole book in like
Mhm.
moments, but it took like some preparation.
Was he saying that book is gone now?
Yeah, it is.
Because I was like, fuck, it would have been great to buy that book.
And
That
see,
Charlie Kirk
yeah.
book, like the day of, and be like, holy shit, and get a PDF of it, and like, oh, now I've got the book. Like, did anyone
Yeah.
buy the book? I wonder.
I don't know. But I'm willing to bet it is 99% just banal drivel filler.
Yeah,
It's not. It's talking a lot, but it's not saying anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, oh, it's probably just an AI book.
Yeah.
In any way. But like I said, there are other things I
Yeah,
do want to
we
go
get
ahead and
something
talk
really
about, like these
interesting here.
really weird events that happen in New Jersey. But really quick, before I go ahead and get into that, I want to talk about this news story right here. So I saw this news segment from Richie from Boston's live stream. He has two main channels, RFB2 and Jailbreak Overlander. And this is absolute insanity. It is not surprising. It's just crazy the times we're living in.
Something is broken. I know if someone breaks into my house or someone else's, you're going to fight for your life.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford speaking out over a break-and-enter that happened in Lindsay, a city east of Toronto, early Monday morning. Kawartha Lakes police were called for an altercation at an apartment. They learned that a man had woken up to find another man inside his home. During a fight, the intruder suffered serious, life-threatening injuries. The intruder, a 41-year-old, was already wanted by police. He is facing additional charges, including break-and-enter and possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. The homeowner, a 44-year-old, was charged with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon.
You should be able to protect your family when
Yeah.
someone's going in there to harm your family and your kids. And maybe these criminals will think twice about breaking into someone's home.
This isn't
In the unlikely
video,
event
I
that you
don't
find
think,
yourself the
wanted
victim of a home invasion, urging citizens not to take matters into their own
Is this
hands.
guy for real?
While we don't want homeowners to feel powerless, we urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones safe until police arrive.
Wait, hold on. You don't want people to feel powerless.
Yeah. He wants you to go hide in the bathroom and call.
I've never felt like I had any kind of power. Like their method is you see anything, lock yourself in a bath, like you said, lock yourself in a bathroom, call 911. Maybe they'll be there in time.
Yeah.
If you do anything to the person trying to kill you or do anything bad to you, you're in the wrong.
Yeah. If this guy got into your house, do you think your bathroom door is going to slow him down? Like,
I know.
That's like maybe 2 kicks if he's not that strong. You know, you can probably get it in one, but maybe if it's a solid door, it'll take 2 kicks.
I've always felt my entire life that the odds were stacked against me in that way. Like you have no breathing room. If someone wants to steal from you, you're supposed to give it to them immediately. Give me that. And you just go, okay. And then you call the police.
Yeah.
And then they'll make note. You know,
probably no chance that we'll get it back, but you know, thanks for calling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why these people feel emboldened to do that. They're like, oh, if I do it, whatever, I'll probably get away with it. And if I don't, there's a good chance that I'll get let out. So, like, why not take the chance, right?
Yeah.
This guy's not going to fight me back because otherwise he's going to get arrested.
Oh, for sure. So it was after this?
Yeah, we'll see if it's after this. See if you could skip through it. We don't need to see this because we already know this story. Try and get back to the Charlie Kirk shooting if they get back there. So basically,
that you own nothing, even your own property, your own home, and the stuff inside your home is not yours to begin with. So why are you even defending it? They probably even believe that your body does not belong to you, that your body is their property. Again, it just feels like we're living in a mix of Idiocracy and They Live and 1984. Those three are not fictional. 1984, They Live, and Idiocracy are basically documentaries. But in other strange news, what happened over in New Jersey a couple days ago? Apparently there was a crack so large in the road that multiple families had to be evacuated. Reading this article from NJ.com, which was published on September 9th, apparently 18 families were initially evacuated from their homes after a large crack several hundred yards long on Smith Road in Woodbridge emerged last week. A spokesperson for Woodbridge Township said a road displacement was reported on Thursday on Route 440 and Smith Road between Perth and Amboy border heading towards Highland Avenue. No crack in the road was noticed the day before, the mayor said. They said it last month.
Speculating about this Charlie Kirk video, and you're thinking that some of it, at least what we were seeing, is AI.
Something that was taking place during that time. Or perhaps they were releasing these drones.
And they showed this clip, and I was like, I didn't think, I was like, I don't know if there's any plausibility. And I was like, holy fuck, this thing might be AI. Oh, let's see this creepy video. Watch this. This guy heard something outside his tent.
No, this is in his basement.
No, is it? Oh, he found a tunnel under his house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is a different one then.
Yeah.
You don't know
tunnel.
what happened after this.
The guy never.
But it leads to a very interesting location.
Oh, we're down here.
Let's watch this. Watch this.
About 3 hours from our house.
This is insane.
And trying to go into some underground tunnels under this city.
Watch this.
Which city is this, though?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is it.
Every city would have something like that.
Sure,
Pumping
sure.
station.
Well, it looks like we got a gate here. But we can get through.
Oh, it's already been cut?
Yeah.
Whoa. There's a ladder that goes up. Oh, okay, we gotta get up there. Oh.
A desk? That.
Oh, that's
no.
too creepy. Somebody kept their child in here, it looks like.
Desperate times.
What if it was innocent? Hopefully it was
That's
innocent.
the scariest thing I've ever seen. We gotta first figure out what this place even is for. Is it a prison? A bunch of old electronics are gone.
What the fuck?
Liminal space.
Ooh.
I would not go in there.
This place is
You'll
like a
get caught.
hospital.
Hospital makes sense.
Moving on and going back to the first segment, did you know over in Europe they have something called a brick card? Now, make no mistake about it, we're definitely going to see something like that here in the United States, especially given the fact that Bill Gates wants to do away with
the end.
Whatever line of the day not be able to take your brick card.
This is why I have a secondary channel, Seconds of Horror, that dives into the more paranormal aspects of things, because based on my upbringing, based on things I have personally witnessed, I truly. But now, all of a sudden, after this small period of time,
the Hellfire.
we're hearing that a hostile mothership is making its way to Earth.
Did we talk about it?
Or the military had a hostile confrontation with a UFO. These are
see.
scripted events mentally preparing us for a major false flag. Just a couple years ago, the government, news, and media, they would never, and I mean never, release this video footage unless there was a bigger agenda behind it.
A close encounter on Capitol Hill with Representative Eric Burlison showing some whistleblower video during a hearing about UFOs. It seems to show a U.S. military drone shooting a missile at an unidentified object just off the coast of Yemen last year. But as CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata reports, the aerial mission did not go as planned.
The newly released video captured by a U.S. Reaper drone shows a glowing orb off the coast of Yemen. Suddenly, on the left side of your screen, you see a Hellfire missile zip in, strike that unidentified object, then bounce right off it. When we slow the video down, you see the Hellfire missile continue to travel on its path, that trajectory becoming clearer from this zoomed out angle. Not shown is a second Reaper drone that launched the missile. Congressman Eric Burlison shared the video at a House Oversight Committee on what the military calls unidentified aerial phenomena, better known as UFOs.
That's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
We've never seen a Hellfire missile hit a target and bounce off.
Lou Elizondo is a former senior intelligence officer with the Pentagon.
The Hellfire makes a hit, a kinetic strike.
Okay, it could be said, though, that there is a version of the Hellfire missile called the Hellfire Katana.
Okay.
And when it deploys, it shoots 4 swords out just below the tip, and it's meant to just shred up like whatever it bounces off of.
Okay.
So there is a version of the Hellfire missile that is designed to do what it just did, but it still
doesn't sound like that's the one they were trying to use, because they seem pretty surprised that it bounced off.
Yeah, they all said, I don't know if they're going to say in this video, that everybody in that they were interviewing, they were asked what can survive a Hellfire missile, and so I don't know. I don't know what can do that from that missile.
And I mean, that's pretty wild too, that thing's fucking flying so fast, and then one of those missiles even hit it. That's pretty impressive.
That alone is impressive. I gotta hand the drone that it's accurate.
Even like from the side, like that must have been a heck of a fucking like, trajectory if this thing's going like that, and to go that fast and hit it. It must be fast missiles.
Yeah, if it's anything that's like our kind of stuff, and the back end would have the propellant, you would want to fire at that end so that you can blow that up and they can still glide to the ground, and you can interview, they're still alive, that kind of thing. So I commend them on that too. That was a well-placed hit. It was humanitarian, but it still created 3 orbs that traveled behind it and went with it.
Yeah, like debris.
If something is going that fast, it might create an airstream where the debris would follow with them.
That's what I was thinking.
Possibly.
Well, yeah, but or I mean, if it's got some sort of gravitational field that it's using to levitate, then that would kind of make sense, right? That it's got like a bubble around it where gravity is affected differently. So as it's flying, then like this is obviously like pulled towards the gravity, Well,
I'm trying to make it something real world, where like we're looking at an infrared camera, so that could be a little bit skewed, where we're looking at something mundane.
Yeah.
If we saw it with our eyes, but under this camera, it glows. Oh, it's an orb. well, is it? Like, I don't know. I'm not looking at it with my eyes. I'm looking at it through this robot. And moreover, what if it's some kind of balloon that can go that fast?
I don't know about that.
So, like, it's some kind of like half hard shell where the helium will make something the size of a car lift up off the ground, and you have a powerful enough fan that makes it zip that fast.
Right.
Hellfire missile, like it's a huge missile meant to hit a plane or something of substance, and then it hits next to nothing. It's going to make a couple of pieces fall off the back, and that's it. It's going to bounce right off it if it's hollow.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a chance for sure.
If it actually is just garbage in the wind, that could be thought of. I always try to think that, like, is the UFO a tent that accidentally caught wind and left? There's got to be like one or two.
Yeah.
That somebody set up and didn't put the pegs in at a time, and the gust of wind took it up, and it's in some kind of airstream where it's just floating around and never coming down.
Yeah.
I think that's possible. Anyways, let's let them continue.
Strike on something solid. There's usually not much left of
I'm wondering if
whatever
I
it is
saved
it's
the
hitting.
video in our
It's
our video
very,
archive
very
there on
destructive.
YouTube.
What seems to happen
We'll have
is
to
that
check.
the missile is either redirected or in some case perhaps glances off the object and continues on its way.
A recent government report revealed the government received more than 750 new UAP sightings in the 2024 fiscal year, leaving lawmakers digging into the mystery and national security concerns posed by these objects.
Does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Yes. Me too. There's a lot of information that's not in that video,
Really?
like what mission they were on.
too.
And as they said, what are we even looking at here? We do
Yeah,
know
what
that the
mission
U.S.
they were
military
on.
was conducting
Yemen.
airstrikes against Houthi targets at the time. Pentagon officials tell CBS News, no comment. Charlie D'Agata, CBS News, Washington.
So for one, the military would not allow this footage to get out because they would not want to show that their weaponry is weak against any foreign adversary, even if you believe the whole foreign adversary thing, because again, they're all seen as buddy.
Yeah. Now watch it hit it and think, because their targets, they just said their target was somebody called the Houthis. I'm immediately imagining someone Mad Max-ish with like a small Zeppelin that has a gas-powered van, and they're just like, now it's one of those, and that's what we're looking at. The top is like a tin foil kind of thing.
Right.
So it looks like that.
buddies inside the World Economic Forum.
Boom.
And two, this is just
See?
something they would not show the public.
Now that kinda
Again,
looks
I feel
like
like
that.
I'm living in
Those are three
idiocracy.
people.
That they want us to believe something like
That
this.
is still
They
being
mentally
stuck
prepare
behind
you
in the
little by little
Yeah.
with these news stories, which have been increasingly ramping up. Aliens invading a mall,
What if they
aliens
accidentally hit the
crashing into somebody's
reverse button
backyard,
on
all
the
these
fan,
UFOs.
and it's sucking them
Congress
in?
having a meeting with the whistleblowers to discuss UFOs, showing us video footage of the military attacking an orb that did nothing to it. I mean, look at these news
China
articles. It's
one
very
too,
telling
eh?
what's going
See
on
the
here.
China one?
What are
I have it
Louisiana's
called up.
chances of surviving an alien invasion? Virginia
Might
ranked
show
most
it on
likely
here.
state to survive alien invasion, study finds. The 10 states most likely to survive an alien invasion. They are just mentally preparing us for this fake stage alien invasion. And the timing is also very interesting as well. We're hearing more and more in the news about hostile aliens around the same time as the 2030 One World Government agenda. I mean, come on. Give me a break. Give me a break. And I'm not talking about a Kit Kat bar either. I mean, I'm just so angry. But anyway, moving on. With a mix of AI,
I love
CGI,
that
and
guy.
so forth,
Yeah, he's
holograms, they can pretty much make anything happen. And I still remember what Trump said, which was pretty much the most important thing to me that has been said all this year, perhaps in quite a while, when he says if anything bad happens, he'll just blame AI, which the flip side of that is also true. They can make things happen.
Okay, check.
Good point.
Check our.
Do you want to see the China one?
Do you have it called up? You said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Oh, there we go.
It's coming in, and then boom.
Yeah. Either a UFO or a missile, or a meteor. I mean. Oh shit! That reminds me.
The
Seconds of horror. Oh my god.
the creature in the jar?
Yes, the meteor creature.
Yeah, so
he's got the video on his other channel, Seconds of Horror.
So let's start the screen.
So yeah, that showed the fucking meteor cracking open. Do you have it already called up?
Next,
Yeah.
here in the place where the meteorite
The meteor
fell when
fell.
I turned off the light, look how it looks.
Sorry.
It's something totally incredible. It's a material that glows, a mineral. I don't know what's shining there. It's crazy.
That I don't believe
This
though.
is
When he showed
scaring
the
me now.
hole,
It's
it looked
scaring
dug
me.
by
I
a
can't
shovel.
believe this. You don't have an
Gasoline was
explanation
poured
that I
into it,
know of
and then
for
he
the
lit it
place
on
where the
fire. I think
meteorite
some
fell.
people were eagle-eyed and actually
I
saw a
can't
match
explain
there.
this. Tell me what it could be.
Night finding.
And I didn't know it was like this. I couldn't be more scared.
Okay, so when I saw this, I actually caught this while I was down there. I left my I couldn't vape while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like they don't like anything smoking, right? So both of those were in the safe in the room, and sometimes it was like diarrhea, and it wasn't the issue, but that was my time. I just used the bathroom. You know, the vape doesn't smell like anything, and that's my taking a moment.
Yeah.
And I caught this. So the kind of like similarity of being somewhere like that was probably a day's driving, but like still not too far away. And it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm there. All right. So he has the
To
space
our
craft.
interplanetary visitor, you are witnessing this discovery here in Panama.
Have you seen this?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't seen this. I saw a Seconds of Horror has kind of a boiled down version where he just shows what happens.
I have been advised not to touch a university. The International University is coming soon to Panama to take samples of my meteorite. The meteorite has changed the color.
Yeah, then he
and
just
I
starts touching
realized
it.
that it
So that-
destroys everything that is a plant. You cannot get close to
I
a
think he was
plant
just not touching
because
it
it
before 'cause it
kills
was
it.
cooling
Look
down
at
still.
this. And when you put something
I
alive
think
near it,
This
for
is what makes
example,
it
this
fake to
leaf,
me is that he's proving all of these things, but he's
One put
touching it, and he's
something with life.
handling it like he already knows what it is.
you can see how
Yeah.
it transmits like a force. Totally
Yeah.
strange.
Watch closely.
Yet does nothing to his hand. Really?
Don't you believe that they would come quickly to investigate this type of stone? I don't know where it comes from which galaxy.
So how is it not burning the paint on the lid he has it on there?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Or
it could be
it completely
radiation.
destroys
Even if- yeah,
anything
it could be
organic.
radioactive,
But when you touch it,
that would burn,
it doesn't
like, a
burn.
leaf,
That's
right? But
the
it wouldn't
strange
burn a
part.
plate or
I
something,
don't
melt
know
a
if
plate
it
or
is
something.
harming my hand, but it
I'm not
doesn't
too
do
sure
anything
myself,
to me.
but that it's a pretty safe assumption.
A4.
But the
Yet it
leaves,
does
you
nothing
can
to
see,
that lid.
Look how this has turned out.
Or his hand.
Money like the experiments I am doing with this stone that
Or maybe I
fell from
should
the
skip
sky.
ahead because this is there. Now it starts growing its own shit.
Day 10. Growth.
Thinking the same thing that I was thinking when I first watched this. Why would you be touching this without any gloves if you have no idea what it is? It gets weirder.
So my thought is, if you were to fake that and to make it move, say you made like a sculpture out of like jelly or
Yeah.
something like that, and you filled it full of black sand,
Oh, look at it. Moving.
could you fake that with magnets?
If someone could tell me what it is
That.
that's growing there on my rock,
And then under the table,
Did you see that? I mean, how do you
Or over
explain
top
the
of
way
the
that
camera,
this little weird
like, hold
tentacle-looking
a
arm thing was
very,
just moving?
very powerful
I don't think this
magnet.
guy's a special effects artist.
Probably
It doesn't seem like he has a background in that. And also,
That's
this
a good
doesn't
point.
really look like AI. This looks like something that was actually recorded.
Or those who have written to me wanting to buy it, no, it is not for sale. I am waiting for the appropriate people to study it. I am trying to find the
What if he
contacts
has it
or for the
curled
contacts to find me.
and there's
So how
a
did he
wire
get
going
this
down
weird
under the
arm
table,
thing
and
to
when
move?
he like
If
presses
he was
and
the one making
puts
this
a
happen. Look
current
at this
into
again.
it'll straighten out on its own because there's like an electrical current going into it. Turn it on, turn it off.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah. Very good hopes, though, if it is. Holy fuck. Yeah.
A lot of work.
It's getting so bizarre, but it gets more bizarre. Like, this gets insane. Keep watching because these.
Look, even with initiative, I plan to send everything to my friends around the world. It's
Yeah,
something
he's been
totally
cutting off
incredible. I love it.
pieces and putting in alcohol bottles.
Okay.
Handling it by
What
hand. Keeps growing.
The thing is that it hasn't come out all planned.
Tucked in the back of the safe in the shadows. It's moving on its own now.
Yeah, I think he's on the run at this point. He's getting threatened or something, and then he keeps it locked in a safe, and he starts going on the
And
run
this part
around
right here,
Panama.
I think, is the most interesting to me because if I rewind that real quick, as he's reaching for it with those little tongs, it moves back. Like it can see what he's doing. So it's like aware that he's there and it's aware what he's doing. As he reaches, it reacts. So wild.
Don't
Yep, there
worry,
he is
I'm
on the
fine.
lam.
The thing is, they didn't take it. I have it. No, I didn't let them take it. I'm going to turn off the phone, but don't worry, I'm fine.
He gets like the Stockholm syndrome where he like, it's my alien. Yeah. Which is kind of like adorable for a young Panama boy, but like it's a very dangerous, you know?
Yeah.
I think he's trying to keep it away from sun so it doesn't grow
Puts a night
anymore.
vision inside of the safe so that we could see what's happening in the safe as it's growing. And here's a clip of that.
It's got to be hard to fake, but I don't know. When you make it look like that, it hits to the core of you, right?
Yeah.
See why that freaked me out on vacation? Because I had to go in and out of my safe the same way. And some people are saying Venom, right? Like, so if he saw that movie and got some kind of romantic idea, like, whoa, what if it doesn't go in Venom?
Yeah, I'm gonna inject this in my arm. And see.
That would be a reason to keep it with you. Like, what if it fucking does something for me, you know?
I'll attach it to my face and see if I can grow superpowers.
Well, this is the question of the Dark Forest theory. You don't want to make yourself known in the universe because it's the same as the forest. You make yourself known, you're going to become food.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a second theory I have for this. What if this is true, right? Mm-hmm. Let's take it seriously. This is some kind of like space plant. It grows uncontrollably.
Space weed.
What if we do tests on it and it's not only not harmful to us, it's actually nutritional. And if you blanch it, it's good enough to eat with maybe some soy sauce and sesame seeds, right? It might end world hunger if it grows this fast.
True enough. Although I think that hemp is the fastest growing commodity.
Yeah, I guess so. Come on, show us it. Oh, it's samples.
Yeah.
I think it was seen somewhere in here. He gives some samples to a car that had Chinese writing on the side.
Oh.
So if anybody's going to figure out how to eat it, it's going to be the Chinese.
Yeah. That's funny.
Come on, show it. What the fuck? Come on. See, how do you fake a video? Make it really fucking hard to see.
Yeah.
Look how weird this thing is. And it's gone from just like one little tiny rock into this in the course of like 2 to 3 weeks. And people are going nuts about this right now. Look at the size of this thing in the safe. It's so strange looking.
What about the bottles? Are they not growing because they are detached?
Maybe.
Freeze it. That's actually a pretty good idea. Get it in a deep freezer
This thing
and just
doesn't
like
stop. I've thought of something. Well, you have told me. You have recommended something.
Try freezing it.
not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. If you lock the lid, then you're at least like have some kind of security around it. Plus a safe, plus chilling it so it doesn't grow anymore. Solid thinking, my man. Solid thinking. Come on, I don't want to watch black
I
screen.
know it's so much dark. Too bad because it's very compelling. Like, they actually found this fucking thing.
But how do you fake a video? You make it dark as fuck.
Yeah, classic. Before AI, there was blurry and dark. So speaking of AI, so people are saying the Charlie Kirk thing, the video that they put out was AI.
Of him dying?
Yes. Yeah. And
That
so
he's actually alive?
No, just that for whatever reason, the video that they put out was AI, maybe because of the angle and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to show, you know, kind of how Owen Troyer was saying, like the entry wound went from behind his ear and then went down. So, like maybe it didn't go through his neck. I don't know.
Maybe he gave him some plastic surgery in AI, so it's not as bad, and it really was that caliber of bullet and blew his whole neck out.
But I wanted you to see the video because, like, I was like, I don't know about that. But then I saw the video and I was like, well, that really does kind of look like it's AI.
Yeah, that is something I like. I do actively stay away from gory videos.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't show you any of the stuff. They're just doing a close up on this table. Basically, that's what's the giveaway. So basically, anyways, it shows as soon as he gets shot, they've got it cropped, right? So you can kind of see commotion going off screen.
Okay, and I'm trying to be as realistic and logical as possible because I'm not just going to believe anything that I see on the internet, nor should you. So my first thought was if he was some special effects artist and he was trying to make something move like this where it looks real, it looks organic, it looks natural. I've seen dishes in other countries that are served with like pieces of sea life, and the sea life is like moving. You'll see like pieces of squid, pieces of octopus moving on a plate. The only thing that I could think of, if this is not real, if he actually set this up to look like a moving alien or something like that, would be using pieces of sea life. And I mean, if you're going that far in your special effects to like chop living organisms up and attach it, I mean, people do it all the time for food. So I'm not going to say it's the worst thing in the world, but I mean, it's pretty extreme to make this thing look realistic. I don't know what else could be moving like that. because if he's not making it
If
move,
it's in a
it
box,
looks pretty
you
damn
can always
legit.
have a
So what do you
hole
guys
in
think?
the
Do you
other
think
end.
this guy all
Still
of a
pretty
sudden
good
just became a
fucking-
special
Still
effects
pretty
artist
good.
overnight?
No, I give it
Went
that.
from a regular TikToker,
But, like-
And
selfie
that's the
mode
other
of his
thing, when he's
dog
just
and
done
him,
regular
to
shit,
I'm going
and
to
all of a
create
sudden
the
he
biggest hoax on earth with
It was
this
called
weird rock that I'm
goblins
just
when
going
we
to
were a
paint
kid.
and make it
You
look
know?
like there's an alien going
Boglins,
off of it? Or is it
That's what they were
possible
called.
that maybe he
Jeez.
found a real piece of a meteorite and something strange is growing
Well,
from
Kin
it? What do you
Panama,
guys
I
think?
do
Let me
remember
know
your
down below in the
name.
comments. If this thing's real, we are cooked. We are so cooked. If that's
Yeah, I
what's
agree
coming on
with that.
3i Atlas, planet taking over in like 10 days with this black shit. Maybe that's why they got the underground bunkers.
True.
Congress just dropped new UAV.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's some of the UFO goings on that's around the world. So we might be fucked. 3i Atlas is still continuing to do its trajectory, and
something's up, man.
It's glowing green, and they're like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Oh, they announced that there is life on Mars. Or they found remnants of like actual physical life on Mars.
And you're like, oh, what? Like a pyramid or something? No, just
Well,
like
a microbe.
a bacteria or some bullshit.
Well, that's how they have to start it, right?
Yeah.
So,
but then every other scientist is going to be like, well, how do you know a meteor didn't just crash in there and you're just finding that microbe?
Yeah.
Right?
And like now, like 3 of them driving all over Mars for years. Fucking years and years.
Take little rock samples here or there.
Yeah. And then just the other day looks behind it and goes, oh, look at that.
Yeah. I missed.
Yeah, it is microbes. You see that? For those of you listening, a moth just flew in my mouth. Pretty big one. Yeah. I spit him out. He survived.
Yeah, he just flew away. What the fuck was that?
Yeah. Ugh, gross ass cave.
Yeah.
It's all warm and wet. And with a fucking meat tentacle in there.
Yeah. He's gonna go tell his family, I just made it out of that fucking place.
Yeah. Damn that. Yeah. So it's been fucking eventful.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Big time.
I'm glad I had it in those kind of pieces, but like it went to a better cause. I was trying to disconnect and learn a different culture. I already had rose-colored glasses going into it. I just love Mexico anyways.
You been before?
No.
Oh.
That was the first time going to the country. Yeah, it was
That's nice. And what? Where was it?
Playa del Carmen.
Playa del Carmen. Okay. Yeah, I was in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah,
is that when I went?
Where's that located? Like
south somewhere. I don't know. It's on the ocean. So
yeah. I was
port town.
I was in the Gulf of America, that side.
You mean the Gulf of America?
The Gulf of America. Yeah. A lot of people like just went there from short distances just to go to this resort. Met a couple from Belize.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was extra cool.
Yeah. Be like, hey, can we stay at your place sometime?
Yeah, we drove here. Took us 5 hours.
Oh wow.
But yeah, we just drove up. This is really close to us. And then I looked it up on a map and like, oh shit, Belize is just like down there.
Interesting. So if you went there, you could just drive down. Just be like, hey, let's go check out Belize while we're here.
Yeah. I am still paranoid though. Like I did do the excursion, but I was paranoid about the streets, the town, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You got to be on guard for sure.
Yeah, I hear a lot of things, and like even still, I talked to my tour guide for the excursion, and I had a little I was sitting by him in the van on the way back to the resort, and I had some time, and he was saying, he goes, the population here in this city, Playa del Carmen, is now maybe 50% Mexican, 50% foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and by foreigner, I mean German, Austrian, French, English, and then like some American, Canadian.
Yeah.
But mainly those European countries are all the other people.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, because our taxes are fairly small. And on top of that, I'm like saying, okay, say I'm moving down here and I want a 3-bedroom house, just a regular house.
Mm-hmm.
How much do I need to spend to buy this house? And he goes, $120,000. $120,000.
Wow. Like pesos or dollars?
US.
Oh, okay.
US dollars.
Still.
USD.
Yeah.
Still.
Pretty good deal.
Still. Like the houses we've bought around here, you can sell, move there, and have money left over.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if he meant, like, he was like, yeah, it's safe. There's all these other foreigners living in here, and you have day-to-day life. You just don't go out at 4 a.m. or whatever. And
yeah, you
can navigate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was a trustworthy dude. I believe him. But there's still that but. You know, my resort was walled in with like a 2-foot thick concrete wall with barbed wire all around the top. That's just for monkeys? I don't think so. That's for cartel, I believe, or I tell myself. Trust me, though, if I ever get half of a chance to go live there, I'm fucking taking it. I'm fucking taking it. I want to live in a yellow house. Oh, anyways,
big a lot of yellow houses there.
Oh, the stucco, yeah. We had to pick somebody up in a gated community, and it was just a gorgeous gated community that was very Mexican style.
Oh wow!
Everybody walking around was just like, yeah, I fucking love my life here. Yeah,
and 120, hey?
Yeah,
sounds pretty reasonable.
120. Yeah, the every person I met was just better than best. You know, warm, welcoming. Wanted to teach me the language openly, you know.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice to see that, but
it's nice when they're not snobby.
There is a large but though. Like we here where we live right now, we do have a large Mexican community. There is a reason why some of them come up here. Conditions are not great everywhere. Anyways. So I think we should maybe put a fork in her, call her done for another week, and let's pick it up next week.
Sounds like a plan, my man.
Yeah, let's see what transpires, and let's see who's bringing in these people. Let's see if I can find a paper trail.
Yeah, we gotta fucking follow the rabbit hole a little more.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next week
on the Conspiracy Wars.
Bye, everybody.
Catch you on the flip side.
¡Hola, muchachos!